He's spectating, it says. He said he chose to race, but it says he's spectating. He says I took control over Seb. I'm in. Oh, he is in. Oh. That's
right. Well, drone is in. Let's start again. Let's start fresh. We are here for Cone Racing League Tier 3 Season 5 Round 12 on the streets of Singapore. A little bit of a, I say a little bit, it was quite a big mess up really in Q1. A couple of things happened. Let's not cover it, let's move on. We started fresh.
No, it
didn't happen. Nothing happened.
Didn't happen. I don't remember a part one.
And we are here for something a little bit different. Unfortunately, due to issues in that first part, we have to do a short qualifying. Whether you like it or not, it's tough really. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's just hope we can get some racing done. It does mean that, obviously we mentioned in the first part of the stream that there was rain tonight. I've been told now that it's a dry race, so no rain expected. As a driving aspect, I'm sure these boys are absolutely buzzing. As a commentary aspect, I'm a little bit gutted. But that's the way it is. We'll very quickly go over the results in the championship once more. Good evening to Matt again. Hi mate, again for the third time.
Evening.
And if you are joining us for the first time, we're here for the fourth to last race of the season, where the championship is getting extremely close, shall we say, with 4 races to go. The results last week in Austria: Strauss, the informed man of the tier at the moment, back-to-back wins. He won in Mexico the other week, he won last week in Austria. Cole Paradox and Bowie completed the podium. As I mentioned earlier, the top 3 in the championship all sharing a podium. Leaving the championship as follows: Jay Bowie is top on 261, but only 16 points clear of the McLaren of Strauss and the Red Bull of Cole Paradox, who are both joint on 245. So only 16 points separating the top 3 in the title race with 4 races to go. And after the Constructors' Championship, by the way, because I've not mentioned that yet, Mercedes top, McLaren second. McLaren obviously represented by Strauss, who's getting them a lot of their points at the moment. Williams in third. AlphaTauri fourth. Red Bull fifth. Aston Martin, up the Aston Martin. Get in there.
The Aston Martin.
We're in sixth. Still, we're doing alright. We're climbing. We're getting there. I still reckon we can get a top 4 Champions League places at the end of the season, definitely. Alfa Romeo 7th, our rivals. Alpine 8th, Haas 9th, and Ferrari in 10th. But of course, the Constructors' Championship, as everyone knows, they're all joined throughout the 4 tiers, so there's plenty of opportunity for things to change, teams to climb, teams to drop throughout these last 4 races. We did mention quickly, Jay Bowers retired on track! Jack Bowers got on track, can you believe that? Surely not. I can see yellow flag at turn 2, Matt. Is it turn 1?
Turn 1, turn 2.
On board with William Gaiman, and there he is in the middle of the track, and he nearly wipes out William Gaiman, who had to avoid him and step off his lap.
Oh, what's happened there? How has he hit the wall? And
the problem is he's not ghosting. He's gone now. But William Gaiman, who may have just set up in fairness, but I think he was going again. He had to step off because he wasn't ghosting. And after all that,
wow, that is unbelievable.
Well, I mentioned in the first part of the stream that little things can go against you, Matt, and there's one big thing there that could completely twist the championship.
Oh my days! I mean, he was unlucky in the first stream that obviously he got glitched out of Q1, as it were. Yeah. But to get a second chance, and then put it in the wall. I mean, that could be massive for the championship. I mean, if you're Strauss or Cole Paradox, I'm sure that when they'd have seen that come up at the bottom of the screen, there's a little bit of a cheer there. Of course, there's a long way to go tonight, and it could end up being in Jack Bowie's favour, who knows, but it's definitely a big twist, and you do not want to be starting, possibly now, dead last, as long as Leon and McConey get a lap together, which I'm sure they will. It could be a dead last on the grid. It could be a superb drive from last to first, who knows, from Jack. He's got the talent, and he's not top for no reason, but, I mean, Matt, that feels like it could be big. Yeah, that is huge. I mean, we've just been told, we spent so long in part 1 well, while the server was down, whatever, and the lobby was struggling, how important this race is, because it's so easy, as we've seen, to make mistakes. 3 races from the end after this, and if Strauss and if the top guys get top points, he might just need damage limitation, hope for the best. I mean, it was meant to be a wet race initially, and because it isn't, and it's going to be dry, he might be hoping that it was a wet race now, because his opportunities might be, few and far between now after that. That's unbelievable.
What I do like to see is Mazel's in P4. He actually got a grid penalty in the first part. Oh, Jones got a commentator's curse. I don't believe it. Where is that? Oh, it's a proper cruncher into the wall. And the man who's normally in Alfa Romeo in Tier 4 representing the Aston Martin tonight, I think that's Team Orders. I think the Alfa Romeo Discord server said, right, operation, we're behind Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship. Pretend to drive for them, then go into a wall. Nah, I'm only joking, but Jerome becomes the second driver to go out. But if you're someone like Mazel, you're pretty chuffed there, because you got a grid pen in the first part and now you're in P4, so it's a really strange one. Since King Ito set his first time in the Alpine, he just about puts himself into the top 10. Very quickly, obviously we mentioned in the first part, Jacko's just gone as well, but I don't see that on track.
No, me neither.
That's in the pits. He did that in the first part as well. I didn't really understand as to why. But AlphaTauri not in a great position in the early stages of this Grand Prix, that's for sure.
It's just not meant to be for them, is it, around Singapore?
No.
It's not meant to be for them.
And we'll be sat here now and they've got a top 2.
Jack Barty's just he's put 2 comments.
Okay.
First, qualifying ban. And secondly, he's just put, I don't believe it, with a sad face.
Oh, Jack don't, mate.
That's heartbreaking.
But thank you to Murphy and to Jack Barry for clarifying that Jack has a qualifying ban. That does make sense. I should have done my research. That's my fault there. Poor commentary. I should have took notes. That's the only thing I didn't take notes of. That is the incident. It always slips my mind, but that does sort of make sense now. As for that, we'll talk a little bit. Go on. Sorry, mate.
I was just saying, Cole Paradox. He's just gone P2 on the mediums there. That's something worth noting right there. Strauss is P8 on the soft. So I don't know what's happened there, but that's a bit of a statement from Cole Paradox, isn't it?
It's a very big statement. Pheasant Plucker is the fastest at the moment, and the only driver currently in the 136 is now. Pheasant, he's always shown really good quality pace this season. He's always been there or thereabouts, and his race pace is just a bit of bad luck let him down a little bit. But he's got the talent, there's no doubt about it. And he was a commentator of Tier 4 last year, and he's unbelievable commentator, and I miss him. Don't get me wrong, Scott's brilliant, and I love Scott to pieces, but it's a shame that Pheasant can't still do commentary alongside Scott, because Pheasant is a superb commentator, and showing his race pace, his quality pace there as well, currently at the top. We'll quickly go over Singapore, so I feel like we've not really talked about the track itself. Now, of course, you won here on Monday in the Tier 4 race. It was a very close race, of course. Safety car right at the end put everyone together, and it was like a bit of a sprint race at the end, wasn't it, for the win. You took the win. Talk us through how you won it. What are the secrets? What do you need to do to get a win at Singapore?
Well, there's 2 things, I think. Firstly, you need a bit of luck. We spoke before. We both got a bit of luck, actually. I mean, I had big luck, because I actually gave myself a really stupid pit lane penalty for speeding. And I had 5 seconds, but I was able to serve them 5 seconds in the second safety car. So I got rid of the penalty, and obviously me and Wild Dog were the only 2 who just refused to pit on the mediums, as Gautier's spun, I think, in Sector 2.
Yeah, it looks like he has invalidated as well.
Just gone off.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of luck with that safety car, but at the same time, I wouldn't have been able to put the softs on. I wouldn't have been in P2 at the time if I hadn't kept my strategy open. So for me, I think you've got to expect a safety car, expect things to happen, even though we're not in for a wet race, which is a huge shame. Still, even a dry race around Singapore, it could be chaos. So, bit of luck, but also keep your strategy wide open, because you need to be able to adapt to anything that could happen. I wouldn't put my hat on a specific strategy.
No, you can't, can you?
Anything. No,
on a track like this. On board with Leon, who, according to the game, again, it could be wrong, but the Ferrari driver who did set good pace in Q1 before, he was really trouble for himself for putting his car, I think it was P8 in the Q1 earlier on, of course. Unfortunately, didn't count for anything, but clearly showing a bit of pace there. According to the game, he's just set a purple sector 1 and a purple sector 2. Again, the game could be wrong. It happens quite a lot that in the game, right? It is wrong, but potentially here, a very good lap from Ferrari, who were struggling towards the bottom. I mentioned the Constructors' Championship earlier. They are towards the bottom. Leon's sector 3 let him down a little bit. It is only P9 in the end, but it is on mediums, and quite a lot of the top 10 at the moment on the medium compound tyre. Not a bad lap there, to be fair, from a lot of the mediums, and he's got potential to get Ferrari some points. We did cover the Constructors' Championship before, and Ferrari towards the bottom. Yeah, I think you made a good point about Singapore. You know, penalties are massive, damage, of course, is huge, and like you said with strategy, you can't really pinpoint. I mean, you have an idea in your head, of course, but you can't really pinpoint one because things can happen pretty quickly. You know, safety car, another yellow flag there actually. I don't really know where that's a Ferrari, I think, on the straight, but no one near him, so maybe a little bit. Is it Jay? No, who is that?
Is it Leon on his in-lap?
Yeah, it is Leon. Yeah.
Maybe he's just cooling down.
He's just he's just stepping off, isn't he?
I'm watching Strauss at the moment. He's on he's off on a flyer at the minute on the mediums.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be interested to see where this lap is compared to Cole Paradox.
Well, he's two
could be interested. This
in sector 1, it's a purple sector, and I think that is a purple sector from Strauss, the informed man, probably a lot of people's favourite. And at the moment, it's going to be very close here if he can nail the rest of this lap, and if he can start pole on the mediums. Of course, there's a long way to go in this session, but if he can start pole on the mediums, or anyone can start pole on the mediums for that matter, you're in a pretty good position. Hello to Nathan in the chat. I heard admin, good luck in your race tonight. A little bit later on, it probably is very soon to be fair, their race now, because we've obviously been a bit delayed tonight. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Pheasant at the moment is one of two drivers. Oh,
Strauss is a second up. A second up. He's just set another purple sector. He's flying, absolutely flying here.
It's looking very promising for pole, or provisional pole at the moment. And it's a tough third sector, but this is a man that's in ridiculous form at the moment, and he's coming for that title. And if you're Jack Bowie or Cole Paradox and you're watching this lap, you're going to be a bit cautious because he's on fire. As long as he can round this last couple of corners and nail them, this could be a pole lap, this.
This has been a lap and a half.
Oh, it's third! Oh, well. It's a rapid lap on mediums.
It's still quick, yeah.
Was that third sector just let him down a little bit then? Because he was looking for pole at one point.
Yeah, I think he might have dropped 2 or 3 tenths in the final sector. Maybe the tyres just... It can happen in Singapore. The tyres might have just fell off at the end.
Yeah, I mean, will he complain? I don't think so. I don't think he can complain at that at all. McConey on a lap as well. Is he? No, he's not actually. Oh, yeah, he's on a lap. I apologise if he is on a lap. He's currently 10th. Can he jump from 10th? He can. He can go 4th for 1:36.9. So the lap time's starting to creep down now. There's around about 4 minutes to go. So time for everyone to set a lap. Of course, the biggest news so far is that our championship leader, Jack Bowie, spin at turn 1. Out of the qualifying session, not set a lap. He's going to be starting the race dead last. A little bit of background information on Singapore very quickly. It's of course known as the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Its F1 debut was in 2008. There's another yellow flag actually very quickly there.
Yeah, Murphy's had a spin in sector 3, I think.
Okay, he's not set a lap to Murphy either, so that could be him. Not done. You know, if he gets out pretty quickly, he'll get a lap in, but
then
not an ideal.
Will be done now.
Yeah, Williams also struggling a little bit here. Craigo in 19th. Yeah, this is F1 debut in 2008. It's a 5-kilometre circuit. 23 turns, and it's 30 laps, but I thought it was more than 30 laps. Is it 30 laps? I thought it was 33. Was that Austria? No, Austria's 36. I swear we did more than 30 on Monday.
It felt like 330.
Maybe it is 30, and we're off the graphic that I've been sent, but I thought it was 33 laps, but I will check that. The fastest pole time, by the way, in the history of this league is a 1:33.4. Set by Ferg. That's a pretty good lap. That's a very good lap.
That's a very good lap.
That is on the old game, and all things have changed since then. It's 33 laps. Atom's just confirmed that. I thought it was. I'm going to say, definitely not 30, but it's 33 laps, yeah. I've got a few facts. Should we do a couple of facts? I do like a good fact, me. Who don't love good facts? I think everyone loves a fact, don't they? A couple of Singapore Grand Prix facts, why not? The safety car has made an appearance in every race in the Singapore Grand Prix in history. Which kind of says it all, really, doesn't it? I think we can expect that, really.
Absolutely.
Is it going to make an appearance tonight? I wouldn't bet against it, certainly. Maybe more than once. One more good fact, which I thought was a decent fact. Where is it? Let me get it up. It is the only night race that's ever been held in the wet, which again is very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Could have had a wet race tonight as well.
Could have been. What could have been?
What could have been, eh?
And Red Bull had more podium finishes here than any other team. Will that happen tonight? Well, Cole Paradox will love a podium here, wouldn't he? To pretty much nail his title fight on, and I'm sure that he'll know that Jack Bowie's currently starting last. Imagine if Jack Bowie the 20th to first here and just blitzed it. Could you imagine the scenes?
I'll tell you one thing though, Strauss won't be on pole because he's set on his lap. He's happy. He's happily gonna sit on that medium lap. Is that a risk, Hedge? Is that a risk?
Possibly. But what I would say is, if you're Pheasant Plucker, you're pretty happy with that because the three behind you at the moment are all done. And he's going again. So could Pheasant Plucker in the Alfa Romeo take pole here? I mean, I know that AFL, if he's watching, old Drone as well, Drone's against Pheasant Plucker tonight, but I'm sure they'll be pretty chuffed seeing an Alfa Romeo on pole. For us with Aston Martin drivers, they're our closest competitors, so I'm a bit cautious of that, really. Don't really want that to happen, but no, fair play to Pheasant Plucker. If he gets pole, he deserves it. It's not an easy track to get pole on at all. There's still a couple, including a certain Red Bull driver who's just starting his lap now. If he can get pole here, it'd be one up on the... Oh! Whoa, what happened there behind him? That Rowan looked to have... He has lost the car. I thought he did. On the straight, he looked like he got into the wall, and he's got right end plate damage. So that's him done.
His lap done then. Yeah.
Got it on the stream.
The McLaren also... actually, was it in a... No, I can't remember who it was. Someone did go in... I think it might be in the Haas. Gautier, he went... I think he must have made a mistake or something, because he's went straight back in on his outlap, so that's his qualifying done.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened there, whether he got some damage or made a mistake, backed out of it, but yeah, he's P12 at the very most.
It's a really wide corner from Cole Paradox though. I'd imagine lost a little bit of time. It certainly wasn't the cleanest corner there as he enters sector 2. Pheasant Plucker, you'd feel at the moment he's still the man to beat for Poley, and it'd be a great pole position for him on the soft. Strauss in P3 though, you still feel the only driver in the top 10 on the mediums in a pretty good position there, isn't he? I mean, there's a long way to go in terms of the race, but... Oh, purple sector and Cole Paradox, 4 tenths up!
To be fair, Hedge, if Cole Paradox could... If he's starting on the softs, Strauss on the mediums, they're on different strategies completely.
Oh. And Bowie might go on the arms! Yeah. Well, let's see then, Cole Paradox is in sector 3. I think he may be on for pole if he can nail this last couple of corners. Where's Pheasant Plucker? He's also improving though, to be fair. He's a little bit further back, but here comes Cole Paradox. Matt, who's 4 tenths up here. Is it enough for pole? For now it is. But can Pheasant Plucker, who stepped off? Pheasant Plucker stepped off. Can anyone beat him? William Damon maybe? He goes 3rd, so that pushes Strauss down a little bit further. That Roland's not on a lap. Doomsday's on a lap. He's currently 10th. Can he push himself up? P7. Oh, Doomsday invalidated right at the end. That's a shame. That Rowan's done, and I think that is qualifying over. So Cole Paradox has got he took the first punch there off the other two. He's thought, you know what? I'm going to take pole here. So you've got one of the drivers in 1st, one in 5th, and one in 20th. Oh.
Jack, please start on the hards. Please start on the hards.
For the stream, do it. Oh, wow. We complained about a short call, didn't we? But I tell you what, it's actually worked out really well.
Yeah, Strauss just took I wouldn't say a gamble, but he's committing to the one stop, you'd have to say.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, this is interesting, isn't it? I'm surprised. Oh, Jack, he's starting on the hards. There you go. He's told us an exclusive here on the Tier 4 stream. Jack Bowie starting on the hards. He may be a troll. He might just say that to troll the others. He might go on the softs. Who knows? But Cole Power. They mentioned that Red Bull have got the most podiums here in Singapore Grand Prix history. Well, I tell you what, Red Bull have got a pole as well there, because by a 10th, pretty comfortable. I mean, Pheasant will be a little disappointed there because he was up on his time, so they must have slipped. So William Gaming, who reserved last week, showing his talent again there. The Nacho Man always been a good driver, had a great season so far. He's 4th. Strauss, the only driver in the top 10 on the mediums. Watch out for Leon though in the Ferrari. Mentioned him earlier. He'll have a free choice tyre there, and he could be one to watch there, as could any of these boys, to be fair. They're not in the top 10. But there you go, the Alpha Tauris on the bottom together. It's going to be some races, and I think I've got a quick quiz question for you before we start, Matt. Quick quiz question, see if you know it. Which drivers won the most races at Singapore in real life? It's 5.
5 wins?
5 is a lot. I wouldn't have got it. I wouldn't have got this. I'll be honest.
When was the debut race? 2008?
8. So it's been... I don't think we raced there last year, did we, because of COVID. Or this year, for that matter. So I think there's been 11... Maybe 10, 11 races there. And he's won 5 of them.
Vettel.
It is Vettel. It is Vettel.
Is it Vettel?
It is. That's 100 championship points for you there, mate. Well played. Got Vettel. Give it him. Actually, no, don't give it him, because he might beat me. Don't give it him, actually. Take him off. Don't give it him. We'll take the constructor points, but don't give it to him directly.
Yeah, we're in this for the constructors' hedge.
We are indeed, mate. Tell you what, we're going to be first by the end of the season, constructors. We're going to climb. We're going to do it. I know we are.
Yeah.
Imagine if Drone got a win tonight for Aston Martin. That'd be so good, wouldn't it? I don't think his teammates would be impressed in the Alfa Romeo, but we'd take it. Oh, I can't wait for this. I think it's going to be a really good race.
It's
I don't think the voice is ready for it.
Apart from the obviously the wet weather we could have had, I mean strategy wise, thanks to Strauss for sticking on the mediums, because that's just opened this race up to be.
Oh yeah. Who's your favourite?
Well,
I mean, we'll get a confirmation of size, won't we, in a minute?
I said it was Strauss, but where was he starting? 4th or 5th?
5th, I believe. I think it was 5th.
What? I'm still going to say Strauss because of the form he's in, but he's committed to a strategy there, and I would never commit to a strategy around Singapore. I think, who knows? What about you, Hedge? Who you thinking?
What I would say about Strauss is, obviously he's going to go longer than the boys around him, but if he gets damaged early on in this first couple of laps, what does he pit to? That's my concern for him here. You know, if one of the soft runners gets damaged, he'd probably put mediums on or even hards. I wouldn't want to go on a medium hard so early on in the race, personally, here. I don't know. I mean, he knows a lot more than me. He's a superb driver and he's on this ridiculous run of form. But I mean, favourite? I'm going to go Cole Paradox for pole. What I would ask you is, what would be classed as a good result here for Jack starting 20th, do you think? If he climbed to a certain position, what would you say would be a good result? 10th maybe, or what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think top 10, top 8. He just needs to limit the damage.
He needs to get something, doesn't he? He needs to make sure he gets something.
Yeah, he does, and I think he is on the hard tyres. He wasn't joking, he's on the hard tyres, so he can go as long as he likes.
As a commentator, he's in the top 3 in the championship, all on different tyres. That's great. He's one of only 2 drivers on the hards. Gautier in 13th in the Haas. He's also on the hards. The rest of the bottom 10 on the mediums, of course, as we mentioned, Strauss on the mediums. 9 of the top 10 starting on the softs. I think we're in... Oh, it's 31 laps, so we was all wrong. It's not 30 or 33, it's 31. There you go. We was all wrong. I think we're in for a really entertaining first few laps, and of course 31 laps of madness here. What I would say for Jackie's on, and I think this could be a good thing. Oh, he spins on his out lap, as I say, that on his formation lap. Sorry. Oh,
you gotta get them tyres up to temperature.
And that's a little bit of nerves. You don't want to be doing that.
No, not at all.
And I tell you something, if he'd have spun like that in the race, I think he might have been out there, because that was a big impact with the wall. What I was going to say about Jack is, starting 20th, and I can sort of... I had a bit of a similarity here on Monday when I started 15th. It's not necessarily a bad thing starting at the back at turn 1, because you can sort of step off a little bit, not get involved in any of the collisions. I have no doubt there'll be collisions at turn 1. It might not be a bad thing. If you sort of wait, pit your battles, you could jump pretty quickly, and don't forget, a lot of these boys ahead of him are going to pit pretty soon, because the softs don't last long on this track. He will gain places. So I think if he can keep his nose clean, what you don't want to do is crash like that, because that already sort of gives you a little bit of nerves. Your tyres are not going to be as warm as possibly some of the boys around you. I mean, this is going to be great.
Let's hope there's no... I mean, here's a question for you, Hedge. What does his teammate do if he...
I was going to say that. Does he let him pass?
Does he let him through? I mean, the Alphas have had such a bad weekend that they could collide into turn 1. I mean, that's just the Singapore Grand Prix they've had so far. Not
many teammates like me and you, Matt, giving each other a toe in laps. In quali.
Yeah, we did that. Where was that?
Austria.
Was it Austria? Yeah.
Yeah, we let each other through, won't we? But Will Jacko and Jack let each other through now. I think they're in a party together, so it could get a little bit spicy in that party. Anyway, here we go for round 12 of the season. We've been waiting a long time for this race, and I feel like we've waited forever. Season 5, round 12 in Singapore. Just 4 races to go in a 3-horse race for the championship, and we are getting ready for what I think this could be a really big race.
Top 3 different tyres. Oh boy.
I'll be waiting on somebody here. This is not looking promising at the moment. The fact that we sat on the grid, this kind of makes me feel a little bit worried. There's not only by now you. Oh no, please don't do this to us. Are you still on the grid as well? Is it just me?
I'm still on the grid.
This is not looking promising. Oh, hang on. Has someone at the back just lagged out? I saw an X near someone's name at the back. Drone has gone. He's got an X on his name. Is that potentially... Yeah, it was Drone. There you go.
Drone's gone.
Right, Drone's gone. 5 lights ahead of the drivers. It was a long wait. But it is lights out, and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Cole Paradox gets way up. He's got Pheasant booking accompanying to turn 1. Wolf hasn't got for a move, but he'll think better of it. He'll back off. But Cole Paradox still leads the race. Strauss remains in 5th as he goes wheel to wheel with the Mercedes, the natural man. Bowie's already jumped his teammate. There's wing! Someone's wing! Is it Pheasant? Yeah, it's Pheasant. His wing's off. Oh, and I said before, he has great quality pace, but doesn't seem to get any luck in the races. And once again, his wing's been completely off. Completely gone. Bowie's already up 5 places towards the back. It's a great start for Jack. Did you notice anything towards the back?
I didn't. It was just carnage all over the place. I was keeping an eye on Strauss as they've gone 3 wide, and there's a Haas really close to the wall. It's getting really congested back there.
It's getting very congested. As Jacko gets a move back on his teammate. So the AlphaTauri orders are not in check. Bowie's losing places now. He's
dropped a place to the Merc as well.
Yeah,
he's dropped a place to the Mercedes.
Towards the front, Cole Paradox still leads from William Gaming from Donachiman. Poor Pheasant Plucker just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. You got a feel for the guy. Set such good pace in qualifying. You just can't seem to get a break in the races. I don't know what happened there, but to lose your full wing, it must have been some collision as Strauss locks up a little bit into the corner. That gives Mazzles a little bit of an opportunity to get a move there, but Mazzles will know. On the softs, needs to be getting a move done pretty quickly because them softs will die within the next few laps. Anything you've noticed, Matt?
Well, I think Bowie's struggling for tyre temps at the back. Murphy's had a bit of a moment, I think, as well, but Bowie's really struggling for tyre temps. I think once the hards get up to temperature, he'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, it's to be expected, but compared to the guys around him, he's struggling for pace a little bit. So for his sake, hopefully the hards warm up and get up to temperature pretty quickly.
It's a blistering start for Cole Paradox, and it's just a start he would have needed with his rivals behind him. He's 6 temps clear, and to be fair to William Gaming, he's also had a really good start. Strauss has gone up 1, that due to Pheasant Plucker's incident. He's in the pits now. We'll bring you an update on to what tyre he goes on in a moment. But Strauss up 1, he's on the mediums, he's doing okay, but already a big gap towards them boys ahead of him. Mazzles seems to have lost a bit of time on Strauss as well. Of course, no DRS just yet. McConey down 5 as well, no damage, but down 5, so clearly an incident for him. And the winner at the moment has definitely got to be Jacko, the other AlphaTauri driver, who's up 7 places. So a great start for Jacko as we head on to lap 2 of this race.
Yeah, Bowie's under a bit of pressure from the Alpine. Sadistic King is all over the back of him at the moment. So he either needs to let him by and try and follow him. I don't think he wants to get caught up in a battle right now, but he's getting minced by the guys on the quicker tyres at the moment. Yeah,
he is, and what I would say as well, he's 4 seconds nearly behind the car ahead of him already. He's lost a lot of time here on the early. He looked like he had a good start as well. He was up 5 places. Looked like he was well in the mix. And then obviously the softer medium runners just kicked into life a little bit. You've seen Gautier, the other hard runner, he's already pitted, so obviously he was involved in an incident. Both Hassies had a bit of a tough start to the race. Gautier on the medium, Pheasant Plucker, of course we saw him drop, he's on the mediums. Murphy, who also pitted, onto the hards. So no DNFs as of yet, but 3 pit stops early on. Drone, I believe he's still an AI driver, so he'll just keep dropping and dropping, unfortunately. The only driver on the whole grid not to change places at the moment is Sadistic King. However, as you mentioned, Matt, he's closing in on Bowie here very quickly.
Yeah, he is, and the gap, like you said, to the pack ahead of Bowie, I mean, it's 5 seconds now.
Yeah.
So he's just got to persist. He's just got to persist with this and just hope that the race will come to him. Obviously, he's playing the long game. He's just got to wait until much later in the race and just hope that the safety car comes his way, because he's not going to overtake many cars on the hards, is he? He's just got to
be patient.
I think. Yeah.
I mentioned to keep an eye on with Leon in the Ferrari. He's also up 2 places. He's now on the rear end of Craigo, because DRS has been enabled this lap. Craigo in the Ferrari sandwich at the moment. Doomsday ahead of him. Leon right down. There's a yellow flag there. Is that Pheasant again? It is Pheasant again. It's a nightmare start for the man who started right at the front. Was it P3-ish race, I think, for Pheasant? P2, I believe, actually, wasn't it?
Has he lost his front wing again? Yeah,
yes, he has. He's pitting again.
Wing again.
Oh
my days!
Look at the pack. Look at the queue in midfield. Look at that on the graphic. There's just colours everywhere. And Jack Bowitt, he's been overtaken by Sadistic King. I missed that. So he's up 4, but the 4 behind him have all pitted. And well, not Drone, but Drone's an AI driver. So Jack at the moment not having the start. But as you mentioned, it's patience with them hard, isn't it? I think because a lot of these drivers are going to have to pit soon, aren't they?
That Rowland's going for a move down the inside of JB. He's just tried to switch back in sector 3. He's right on the back of the Alfa Romeo, but couldn't quite get the move. Oh, but then he makes a mistake, the Alfa.
Yeah,
on the outside. Has he got the move done?
Oh, it's contact though! And Joe the Alfa. Did he lose it? No, he's okay. He lost a lot of places though, didn't he? I thought he'd gone then. I thought he'd gone.
I did too.
Oh, Doomsday has a wobble, nearly loses the car. That last corner is tough, by the way. If you go full throttle there's a good chance you may lose it, and Doomsday nearly did. Strauss, he's starting to gain on them soft runners now. Them softs starting to die off a little bit. He's going to get DRS here on the Nacho man, Matt, for a place in the top 3 potentially.
This is what he's been hoping for. He needed a clean start. He's not lost any places. And the tyres are going to start to come to him now, aren't they? So you've got to say it's worked out perfectly for Strauss, but at the same time, his championship rival still in the lead. So
here comes Dragon on speed on the rear end of the other Alfa Tauri Jacko. In fairness, had a good start. Is that Leon? It is Leon, who's lost about 5 places there, and he's also lost his left end plate. So damage to the Ferrari. That's a shame, because he'd had a pretty good start to the race, Leon there. Another driver that just can't seem to catch a break at the moment. He did get a podium in Mexico, I believe, so he's got the talent, but another driver that just seems to struggle for form, really, and struggle for a bit of luck. As Craigo, having a look on the other Ferrari driver, Doomsday, he's right on the rear end. There's a lot of close battles here.
These medium tyres are starting to the optimum tyre here, definitely. He's around the outside. Yeah, that's not a long DRS straight, but he's made that move look pretty easy.
Yeah. Nice move for Craigo there, and that's him up into P7. As you mentioned, I think the medium's starting to kick in slightly. Softs already, you can tell they're dying, aren't they? I mean, look at Strauss, he's gained on that top 3. Maybe not Cole Power not to be fair, he's still 2.9 seconds clear, but William Gaiman in the Nacho, man, you can tell they're struggling a little bit here, and Strauss definitely going to gain on them and potentially make a move on this lap.
Gap's just getting bigger, isn't it, at the front? Cole Paradox.
Yeah, he's comfortable, isn't he? I mean, that's what you want from him. That's what he'll be happy with, and he'll have to pit soon. But if he can pit with a decent lead of 4 or 5 seconds, he'll be pretty chuffed with that. Strauss will want to get through this, won't he, pretty quickly now. He won't want to be stuck in traffic.
Yeah, I think he's got to try and make the difference now. We've got 2 guys in the pits, Leon and I think it's a Mercedes. I think they might have been caught up in a bit of a battle. I think JB hit Leon hit the wall. So. What
a move by Donacho, man. He was left very little room from William Gaming. Strauss also breaks late. And does he get the job done? He does for now. Can he make it stick his contact?
Oh! I think I saw an end plate there. I don't know whose it was.
It wasn't Strauss's, was it?
No, I think he's okay. Unless it was just me, I'm not sure. But Mazel's now getting on the back of William Gaiman as well, but that's perfect for Strauss.
It was a great move from Donacho, man. He was given not much room there at all, and he made it work. And he's another driver this year that I think he'll be a little bit disappointed that he's not in this championship battle, because whenever I've seen him race, he's been very, very good. DRS here for Strauss on Donacho, and he won't get him here because, as you mentioned last lap, it's only a short DRS section zone, that isn't it? But Cole Paradox's lead, he's getting bigger. It's 4.5 seconds now.
He'll be seeing this championship rivals, though. He'll see in the top left in the order. He'll see this championship rival is gaining.
He is
gaining places.
Good evening to my former teammate Greg's Game Centre, who of course was replaced by my co-commentator tonight. So good evening, Greg, in the chat. If you're Jack here, what do you do? Because at the moment it's clearly not working, is it? You can see already he's lost a lot of time to Sadistic King in front of him. You know, what do you do? Do you just stick with it, ride it out?
I think he's got to, because I mean, if he pits, the gap to the rest is going to be huge.
Yeah.
The soft guys are going to start pitting now. It's just a question of, are they so far ahead? Are they going to pit and come out in front of him? I mean, that could be an issue.
I think.
Oh, William Gaming's had to change his front wing. That must have been the.
Was that the incident before then? Yeah, possibly. And Doomsday's jumped him from that. Where's Jack? He's currently 12th. Not really. I mean, the good thing, he's got clear traffic. No one's even near him. As McCody makes it on JB. Big contact. How's he not retired? That's both Alfa Romeos that have lost the wing and not retired. I mean, he's a lucky boy there, JB. How he's not gone into a wall and lost his wheel. But that's going to cost him massively. I mean, he's due a pit stop, isn't he, anyway? But it's a long way to the pits with no wing, isn't it? It's a long way around with no wing.
Yeah, that was a big impact as well. He's lucky that he's still in the race.
Strauss could potentially make a move on to Nacho Man here. It's a DRS section that is, as I mentioned again, quite short. Won't get him here, I don't think. No, he won't get him here. He's going to close that gap even further. There's another change as well. That Rowan loses. Oh, contact there. Oh, you nearly lost the car. I've seen a lot of close calls already in this race. No DNS as of yet. But I think if them incidents carry on, we might see one or two, because we've had a lot of close calls. As Craigo, that Rowan spins the car. No contact. That's him soft side off, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's going to lose a lot of places there. At least, possibly even Sadistic King might get him here. I think he will do. Yeah, he's going to get him. Or maybe not, actually. No, he's not. But them tyres are not going to be the one. As Strauss makes a move. Oh, he doesn't. Sorry, Daxon Man pits, doesn't he? He doesn't make a move. There's a yellow flag. Is that owned again? It is.
It's McLaren.
Yeah, that owned again. And it's them tyres are gone.
Yeah, absolutely gone. I think he's probably cooked them as well, so he needs to get off them tyres as soon as he can. He's been beaten to the pits by the Alfa Romeo as well. He hasn't even got a front wing.
DRS here into the pits, look at that! There you go, into the pits, that roll and goes. It was a nightmare into them softs for him, and to be fair, there's only two at the front, they're still on the softs. And Cole Paradox isn't struggling, or he's not showing any signs of struggling at the top at all. He's 6.5 seconds clear of his title rival on them softs. I'm sure he'll pit pretty soon, but in fairness, he's showing no sign of struggle, is he, Matt, on them softs at the moment?
No, I mean, does he just keep going? I mean, the gap's going to come down. Strauss is already slowly getting into that gap, but 6 seconds. I mean, does Cut Paradox try and stay out for as long as he can? Yellow flag in sector 1. I don't know if
that was that Roland again.
Gone off. Yeah.
I'm not too sure. What I did see was a move from William Gaming on Doomsday on the DRS zone. Pretty easy move from him, and back into the top 10. Yeah, it's interesting start to the races. I mean, 7 laps in, no DNF, which I'm impressed about, to be fair. Of course, you don't want any DNF, but I'm quite surprised there's not been 1 or 2. But of course, solid straight drivers, that's great. Murphy in the pits again. He only just pitted, so was he on the? Did he go to the hards, Murphy? Maybe he's not. I don't know. I can't remember if he went onto the hards or not. I'll check with that. Let me check in the director what he went on to. He went on to he did go onto the hards. So either he got damage or he's just not feeling them. Either way, he's onto the mediums.
Maybe he's done that just so he's covered off with the whole. He's got to use 2 different tyres.
Yeah.
Dry tyres. Maybe he's just done a lap on the hards to get them out, get rid of them, get them out of the way. And now he can just focus on the.
There's a yellow flag again. That wasn't. Oh, was that? Oh, Murphy's been lapped, I think. By Cole Paradox. He has, but of course he has pitted. So once Cole Paradox pits again, Murphy will be unlapped. But that was why the yellow flag was there. William Gaming setting the fastest lap of 1:39.8. Has had a first penalty of the night as well, which is gone to the McLaren of that row. And Matt, we know that penalties can. Oh, it's Cole Paradox loses the car, and them softs hard. Then he didn't get any damage, but he nearly did. And he's going to lose a lot of time now. So he needs to get in the pits now, doesn't he? Because them softs.
He's got to get off them. He couldn't be any further from the pits as well. So I mean, this second half of this lap is going to be a struggle for him. He needs to get off them tyres. The last thing he wants to do is pin it into a wall.
I think it's 1 lap too many of that. I think he's pushed him too far there. I mean, I'd have gone in the last lap. Mazzle's done the same. But he looks okay. But you can see the gap now is closing very quickly to Strauss. And he was lucky there. He lost it a little bit. Didn't go into a wall, but he could have done. And I think that's probably his time to, like you say, get into the pits and get him off. It's not a bad stint, and he's still the leader. But you don't want to push it, do you, there, and make a silly mistake.
No, not at all. I think it's safe to say as well that the race couldn't have gone better for Strauss. There's not been a safety car. There's been no real incidents. So for him, the one-stop strategy is actually working perfectly for him at the minute.
100%. And of only 1 penalty so far. We saw on Monday that penalties can definitely play a part. As they can in every race, but on this track especially, you can get a few silly penalties. You can lose positions, and only one so far, that is the McLaren of that roll. And what's Cole Parrot's going to go on to? I think it's mediums. It's hards, not mediums, it is hards. Mazel's also in. I'd assume so, possibly. What's Mazel's going to do? Is he going to do the same? I think he is. I can see white tyres, it is. Yeah, Mazel's doing the same on the mediums. So there you go. Interesting. They're going to come out in decent positions, to be fair to them both as well. Is Cole Paradox going to come out 6th? There's a big queue behind Cole Paradox that I think he may just avoid here. And he has avoided... Oh, has he? He has avoided it. And that could be crucial, because Mazel's hasn't.
He couldn't have left that any longer.
On track, and that's got to get. He's gone. Sorry to interrupt, Matt. He's gone. Has he got damage there? He's not, but he's spinning everywhere. And again, look, a lot of close calls here in the early stages of this race, as William Gaming makes a move on Bowie.
Yeah, still going. Bowie up to 9th now.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
I think Gautier's had another spin. Yeah, his tyres have gone. He's just passed the pit lane as well, so he's going to have to try and cool them tyres down.
It's not what you want, is it?
He's spinning all over the place on them mediums at the moment.
A very interesting first 9 laps. All 20 cars still intact for now, despite quite a few close calls.
Just about, yeah.
Just about. You know, very few wing replacements. Especially Alfa Romeo. They've had a lot of money spent Alfa Romeo on them wings tonight, haven't they? They've already seen 2.
Yeah.
There's a McLaren right behind the Mercedes here. That's that Roland right on the back of Jay Hartnell. We've seen that one have an incident early on where he spun his car. He's the only driver on track at the moment on penalty, but I would imagine that will change as the race progresses. Still a long way to go in this race. And the top 5 all on the medium. Strauss got a 7-second lead, and I think it's crucial for Strauss now with clear track. Just keep your nose clean.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's obviously going to have to pit at some point. And his team, well, his championship rival, you'd assume, is going at the end. So Strauss will probably drop behind him, but will have fresher tyres. But of course, that's if there's no safety car. That's if you want to even plan for the race to go ahead. So far it has, though, to be fair, and we're a third of the way through, and it's actually gone quite well for all the drivers so far.
It has, but no doubt if commentators curse that, and this time in a lap there'll be 2 DNFs, safety car will be out. Cole Parrot's coming under a little bit of pressure here from Dinacham, he's on fresh mediums, so probably at the moment got the advantage on the tyres. We've seen how Bowie's hards took a little bit of time to kick into life. Cole Parrot's hards may do the same, and Dinachaman's captured him here. DRS, he may go for a move on the inside. He's going to be contact between the two. We've seen Mercedes and Red Bull in real life. We've seen it here as well tonight in Code, as Cole Parrot comes back. And Dinachaman gets it done. And they're the fights. You've got to pick your battles, haven't you? And they're the ones, you know, do you let him pass and just... I don't know.
He doesn't want to be getting caught up in too many of them, especially if he ends up clipping an M plate off or something, and that's it, it's game over, isn't it? So... Which
he quite easily could have done there, couldn't he? He could have clipped an M plate easily there, with that fight.
Absolutely.
And then you're pitting again, aren't you? And your odds that you just put on have gone to pot. So I don't know. I mean, I can understand him wanting to fight the place. Of course, we all want to fight places, but I think there's a time and a place to do it, isn't there? And that just I'd let him go past there. Just just let him go past, and you'll get him in the long run, won't you? 'Cause you're gonna have to pit again on the mediums, isn't it? So you're gonna get him in the long run anyway.
William Gaming's now within a second of Cole Paradox as well, so that fighting might have put him within DRS range of William Gaming as well, who's on mediums. So
I think you can tell Cole Paradox in 7th, Mazel's in 11th. They were they were near each other, and that pack of cars has just screwed Mazel up a little bit there, hasn't it? Because he was right behind, not right behind him, but it was under a decent gap of Cole Paradox, and that pack of cars that have come out ahead of him, it's kind of screwed him up a little bit there.
Yeah, it has. That's the difference, isn't it? Depends when you make your pit stop. And Statistic King having a little look at the Mercedes there.
Yeah, it was a lovely move from the Dutchman on the straight, actually. Broke late and got the job done to get into that P5, but he might come back at him here. As will Cole Paradox, as will William Gaming. There's 4 of them here that could all potentially get a DRS trade on each other. So this could be very interesting. Let's have a look. The gaps are quite big. I don't think any moves will happen right now. No, they won't, but it's a trainer car, so definitely keep an eye on there. There's Jack Bowie under pressure from the Ferrari of Doomsday, who's on them fresher mediums. Doesn't get him there, but again, Jack will be looking in his mirrors there and keep an eye on the Ferrari, because I have no doubt that over the next lap or two he could make a move on him.
Yeah, he's gaining, definitely. I've noticed as well, Strauss's lead to the front, it was over 7 seconds, it's dropped down to 6.7 as Dinachaman gets a 3-second penalty there. He's quite high up as well, so that might actually help Cole Paradox, who is behind him at the moment. But yeah, Strauss's gap's dropping towards 6.5 seconds here, so...
Monster car, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just maybe had a bit of a iffy sector or what, but...
Nacho Man got very close to Jacko there. He wants to try and make a move. Two aggressive drivers here fighting each other.
Doomsday has gone on the outside of Bowie. Bowie didn't fight him though, which might be the right thing to do. He didn't really put up much of a fight there. So.
And Bowie's got Mazzles not too far behind him now. Mazzles on them fresher hards, so Bowie could be in a bit of pressure here. He's dragging on speed. We haven't mentioned him tonight just yet. He's just jumped second. That's because Crago's pitted. We've not mentioned them two really at all yet, but dragging on speed. Where did he start? He's up 9 places. Oh! And I nearly jinxed him because he nearly lost the car. So maybe the mediums are just starting to die a little bit now. You can see that obviously Crago's pitted and put hards on, so maybe the medium's starting to die a little bit. As for third, the AlphaTauri of Jacko, obviously not pitted himself yet, but he's had a great start to the race from was it 19th on the grid, I think it was. He's having a great battle here with the Nacho Man, and the Nacho Man's going to get DRS here on him. And Jacko...
Yeah, Bowie could be under pressure from Mazzles pretty soon as well. Gap's down to half a second. Mazzles has 9-lap fresher hard tyres. So it'll be interesting to see if Bowie bothers to fight this as well. He's got DRS, he's looking, he goes outside, he switches back. But...
he nearly did, didn't he? I was going to mention, I was just going to mention the battle between Jacko and the Nacho Man. The Nacho Man does get past him again. Jacko, who didn't even make it to turn 1 last week in the race in Austria, had an awful accident and was out on the first lap. Didn't even get round the first corner. So he's already had a much better race than he did last week, and he's into P4 at the moment. Any battles that you're keeping an eye on?
I was just saying, I was looking at the Nacho Man and Jacko now. I wasn't sure if I saw an end plate come off of a car there. I don't know if William Gaming...
Yeah, it's William Gaming, sure. Yeah, he's lost an end plate, Alpine.
Yeah, he outbroke himself, I think, going into the hairpin there, and...
he just made a lovely move on Jacko with no end plate. So,
yeah, he has to be fair, but I mean, it's going to hurt him now, isn't it? Yeah. I think he outbroke himself and hit the back of the AlphaTauri, so that'll be a... Yeah, unfortunately, that might be a pit stop for him, actually. And
it's frustrating one, isn't it? Because he's already pitted. He only just put the mediums on quite recently, so it's not what is it? Hard to the end now. Probably the sensible one for him there. Where's Jack Bowie? Mazzle's got past Jack. Did we cover that one before? Have we missed that one? I don't. Maybe we missed that one.
We must have just missed it. We're just starting happening all over the place here.
Yeah, because McConey is also on the back of Jack. He's got fresher tyres. He's on 4-lap old hards compared to Jack's 11-lap old hards. McConey thinking about moving to turn 1. It's not the easiest place to make a move, but he might come back at Jack here. And what do you do with Jack? I mean, Jack's going to pit soon for mediums, I would imagine, but he's losing places again now. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised there's been no safety cars yet or incidents. I'll be honest with you, I really am surprised at that.
But, I'm very surprised as well.
But what do you do? Do you just keep riding it out?
He's in a tough position because I think the reason you start... Oh, we've had a spin at Red Bull.
Paradox.
Is it called Paradox?
Yeah, it is.
He has.
No damage.
He's lost the car.
But yeah, he's lost places. And the car behind him is Jack Bowie.
Oh, how things can change.
Oh, well, Jack Bowie's still on all the hards, but them tyres, I'd imagine, from Cole Paradox there took... I don't know, it's going to be interesting now, isn't it? As soon as the King gets past his teammate, what a move that was, into P4. But let's keep an eye on this one then between Cole Paradox and Jack Bowie. McConey might also get into the mix here and split them both up, who knows, I don't know. This could be very interesting. I don't know, what do you do now as Cole Paradox? Because, I mean, the tyres are quite fresh. I don't think there's any visible damage, but there could still have been damage.
I think he's put them on, I think, to go to the end. So I think he's got to just take them for as long as he can.
If Strauss knew these two were fighting, he'd love it, wouldn't he? He'd be so happy with that. These two fighting each other.
He'll be hoping there's a little bit of contact here and there, but yeah, that'll be an interesting battle because Bowie has a lot older tyres.
Oh, William Gaming he's pitting again. He's only just pitted. Oh, he had damage, didn't he? Yeah, I remember now. Apologies.
Yeah, he lost his front wing. Well, lost an end all the way in sector 2, so he's had a long way to go around before getting that front wing replaced.
Jacko done a good stint on the mediums. He's onto the hards now too, and you're seeing a lot of the hard tyres now, aren't you? The softs non-existent at the moment. Only 3 drivers got penalties. One of the big ones really is the Nacho Man in second, who's in a good position here on the mediums. Of course, they're probably in fact they definitely have to pit again towards it. Maybe some softs at the end of the race, who knows? But a very interesting first 40 laps, nearly halfway through the race, and no DNFs and no sign of a VSCL safety car, which is pretty incredible to be fair so far. Still plenty of time to see it, but I wouldn't have thought that in the first 40 laps, would you?
I wouldn't. I'm really surprised. And as well, Strauss, he's got a very big gap out front. I mean, he could pit right now and probably come out ahead of Colt Paradox, to be fair. This could be an unbelievable first stint for him. If he can come out ahead of him on fresh hards, it's his race to lose, isn't it?
I tell you something, Colt Paradox and Mazzles nearly had a collision then. Got very close together.
McCauley's having a look at Bowie.
He is, and getting it done. And he splits up the two championship contenders, doesn't he? He's like the referee in the middle, isn't he? He's the admin, so he's refereeing it. He's saying, boys, stay away from each other. No contact.
It's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing he's done that, to be fair, because if they got close on track, I think Bowie would fancy a move on Colt Paradox.
Definitely. I don't think Craigo and Dragon and Speed are going to be too far behind this battle either, because they're both on brand new hards. And the boys ahead of them, especially Bowie on them old hards, probably going to find themselves under more pressure as Mazzles.
Ferrari's Doomser has had he's almost lost the car in Sector 3. He's lost a few positions.
Oh, he spun! No DNF again! How's he not DNF'd again? Wow, what are these? He's driving the wrong way now. He can't do that. He can't do that. What? That is a DSQ. What is he thinking? I can't believe I've just seen that.
I've never seen that before.
What? I'm stunned. I am absolutely stunned.
He tried to get back into the pit entrance.
I mean, is he surprised? What is he doing? He's driving at 100 mile an hour back towards other drivers to go into the pits. I mean, the stewards will have a look at that, and I have no doubt that'll be some form of series penalty, because you cannot be doing stuff. Look at the game DSQ'd him. I mean, we have had a DNF. It's the most bizarre DNF I've seen all season.
Yeah, absolutely. What was he thinking?
It wasn't even a slow sort of go back, was it? It was full pelt back to the pits at like 100 mile an hour. I mean, how he didn't DNF in the first place, I will not know. What are these cars made of tonight?
I have no idea. I was ready for a safety car there, but yeah. I don't know how he's got it. Well, I don't know how he got away with it in the first place. Maybe, I mean, you have to go the whole lap with no front wing, but I mean, you can't be doing that. You can't be.
I know that Cohen have like a moment of the season that could be on the highlight at the end of the season. That, because, I mean, I have no words. I mean, I'm just under frustration spinning the car. You don't want to go around the full track, with damage. But really, have I just witnessed that? Like, I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Not the smartest
Imagine
move.
seeing that in real life as well. Imagine if that happened in real life.
Come on the corner, Carlos Sainz is darting towards you 100 mile an hour to go back into the pit. There was an incident with that in Tier 4 actually, in Baku early in the season. I don't know if you raced Baku, Matt. I don't know if you was in the league for Baku.
It was the race before I joined, actually.
There was an incident in Tier 4 where I drove did a similar sort of thing. He didn't actually get the SQ, he got away with it, but he did get a penalty after the race. Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that. We don't encourage that at all. And the game was right. I mean, I don't like anyone getting the SQ, but the game, to be fair, there has called it right, because that was just a madness. And it is our third. Is it even a DNF? It's not even a DNF. It's the DSQ, isn't it?
It's a DSQ, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try and compose ourselves after a mad moment there. As Colt Paradox is in a bit of a sandwich here. He's got Mazzles just ahead of him, but he's got McConaughey, who, to be fair, is looking pretty quick since putting him on the hards. Right behind him, McConaughey has got a penalty though, so that could play into account. I'm still baffled what I've just seen. William Gaiman gets a penalty as well.
Yeah,
penalty's starting to pick up a bit.
He's just got past his teammate. Got past his teammate on the last lap. He was clear of him as well. That's a bit of a clumsy track extension he made there in the first sector, so that might come back to haunt him later in the race.
It may do indeed. Strauss still here, a big gap, and he's not, like you said earlier, he's not far off having a free pit stop here. He's in a great position, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, is he going to take the hards? I mean, he's over halfway distance. He's not pushing to go on the soft, surely. Surely he's got to jump on the hards. I mean, them mediums must be absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if he was to have to go on the softs, yellow flag. It's William Gaiman, and again, it's more damage, but no DNF, no wing again. 4 or 5 cars lost the wing completely and not DNF'd. I mean, it's ridiculous. How they've saved it, I don't know. But yeah, with Strauss, I think if he was to go on the softs, he's got to do another 8 laps or so here, which I just can't see him doing. Surely. I mean, if he does a medium soft here, give him the championship now. That's incredible.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never seen that around Singapore. Never.
I don't want to say he's starting struggle because he's got a 50-second gap, but it looks like he's starting to lose it a little bit on a couple of corners. You know, you can see it creeping in a little bit, can't you? You know, when you start to lose it a little bit, it looks like he's starting to. He's got a big gap there. And the car drivers will have to pit again, I would imagine. In fact, he will have to pit again, the Macho Man, definitely. So, it's his race to lose at the moment with Strauss. He's the informed man looking to make it 3 wins in a row, I believe. And at the moment, he'll go top of the championship. Long way to go here, but it's his race to lose at the minute, isn't it? Definitely.
It is. Jay Bowie's, to be fair to him, he's up in 6th position. A safety car for him now would be absolutely perfect, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Strap on a set of mediums, and you'd have him as a favourite, surely. I mean, a safety car comes out now, Strauss has to go on the hards. You know, Bowie, I'm sure, is sat in his cockpit right now praying for a safety car. Be perfect
100%, 100%. As Dragger on speed, getting very close to the end of the Williams of Craig ahead of him.
Strauss is in.
Here we go then. Hards it is. There we go. And he's going to come out behind an Nacho Man. Yeah, he's going to come out. Yeah, he's going to come out his second, I think. Yeah, second, easily second. So again, free track for him. It's a really good stint, and you've got a pack of cars behind you that are, including Cole Paradox. Are they going to get him here? Actually?
Oh,
they may get him.
Close, you know.
They may get him. This could be massive. And Mazzles does get him. The wheel to wheel. There's contact, and Strauss has been hit. And can Cole Paradox get a move on him? He can he? I don't know. He has got him. And that could be huge. Mazzles has done Cole Paradox a massive favour there. And here comes McConey on Strauss. There's another yellow flag that I think is involved Pheasant Plucker. But a massive move involving the Aston Martin. Has to involve Aston Martin, didn't it? They had to involve Aston Martin.
Had to be. I mean, I think he's got away without damage. Strauss. He looks fine. He's on board. He looks like he's not getting any understeer. But Colt Paradox has track position. We could see a Verstappen-esque. He's just
here comes McConey on Strauss as well. On the inside, McConey's going to try and go for a move here. No, he's not. But it looked like Strauss would get out of second, didn't it? Pretty comfortably. And all of a sudden, this pack of 3 or 4 cars just come steaming towards him. I mean, it might be one that we see with the stewards later, because there was definitely contact between the two of them, Mazzles and Strauss. And Cole Paradox, for now, even on older tyres, he'll go to the end. Cole Paradox here has got the move on Strauss.
He's locked up as well, Strauss.
He's under pressure from McConey, isn't he?
Them hards will be, they'll be taking some time. We've seen it with a couple of drivers. They'll take some time to get up to temperature.
Big move that. I think that could be a big moment. A very big moment.
Has he got slight damage? I don't know. Is it the tyres not up to temperature? Or
well, you can get damage, can't you? That's not visible. So possibly.
Yeah.
I think it could be side pod damage, which you don't want. It's not repairable. He did get hit in the side, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, he's not pitting, so he must feel confident.
You don't want side pod damage, do you? That is awful.
Yeah, I think it might just be a tyre warm-up thing. He seems okay to continue unless
Bowie in the pits. Here we go. Mediums for Bowie. Oh, I shouldn't be. He's not on softs, are you? Mediums, I'd imagine.
Where's he going to come out, I wonder?
Possibly behind the Ferrari. He needs to get out ahead. There's a pack coming around the final couple of corners now that I think actually are going to get him. Yeah, they are going to get him. So behind the Mercedes of Jay Hartle's pitting actually. So behind Sadistic King is going for a move on Jacko into turn 1. Jacko, to be fair, didn't fight it. Fair play to Jacko there. Bowie on the mediums in 12th behind his teammate. Oh.
It's game on for him now. I mean, if a safety car comes out though in the next few laps, he's going to be kicking himself, isn't he?
Can you believe that we're 90 laps in with no VSC or safety car and technically no DNFs?
I can't believe it. With the amount of cars that have been in the barriers as well, the new front wings.
Incredible.
Crazy.
I mean,
Crazy.
I said 8. I said 7 and you said 8 DNFs all the way round. Yeah. You predicted 7 or 8 DNFs, and so far, technically none. I mean, one DSQ for driving the wrong way on track. Trying to take Singapore backwards was Doomsday. As William Gaming gets a good move on Murphy there. Murphy on the older mediums. JB into the pits for a new wing. Another new wing, there you go. And a fresh set of mediums. Towards the front then, Cole Paradox has got Mazzles in front of him, of course, involved in that incident. And McConey is still right on the end of Strauss. It's happening on 11 lap older tyres. It's going to get real. What Strauss doesn't want is to lose a place to McConey. Doesn't want to do that.
He doesn't. And what both of them don't want at the moment is a penalty as well. A penalty would be absolutely disastrous.
Yeah.
Strauss has actually fell out of DRS there for a brief moment as well. On Cole Paradox, careful. He maybe gave Mazzles his rear a bit of a love tap there. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, he needs to be very, very close here. You expect Cole Paradox to possibly get a move done here. He's got DRS. Mazzles, his lights flashing on the back of his car. This is a chance. What could be a priceless move here. into the corner. He breaks late. Mazel's going to try and come back at him though. But Cole Paradox gets it, but that could be a big move, that. Really big move.
Yeah, very big move. Important for Cole Paradox as well. Get ahead of a guy who's on the same age old tyres as him, so he needs to hope that Mazos does him a favour. Aston Martin playing a big part in this championship. Wow.
I love to see it. It gives him a little bit of breathing space, doesn't it, as well? Knowing that there's a car behind you that's not your title rival gives you that little bit more of a breathing space. I mean, I'm sure that Strauss will want to make a move on Mazels pretty quickly here. He needs to, really. He don't want to be stuck behind him, because McCollum, to be fair to him, on the older tyres, he's still keeping him in a decent distance between Strauss, so it's going to be close. Cole Paradox could also possibly get the DRS off Drone in a moment if he stays behind Drone, but I think he'll probably get him before before the next DRS zone.
We've got another car without a front wing hedge. Craigles just went into the back. He's went into the back of the McLaren. It wasn't a barrier. He just outbroke himself into the back of the McLaren in sector 1, and yeah, his front wing's gone completely.
I'll tell you what, we're looking at how many DFs could we have had tonight?
I know, yeah. The
amount of front wings that have come off.
Front wings left. Yeah.
Running out of stock, haven't they? Here comes an actual. He was leading into the pits. I would imagine he's going to go on. Oh, his mediums. There you go. He's going to come out in 5th, you know. And I'd imagine he'll want to hunt on the fresh meat. Oh, maybe 6th actually, behind Dragon on speed.
Clear air.
Even in 6th, he's going to put pressure on them hard runners, you know, on fresh mediums. He's one to watch here. This last 10 laps of the race, 100%. McConey on the softs. They're not going to get to the end. They're not going to get to the end. I don't think they'll get to the end. Then I'll be surprised.
You love to see it, though. You love to see it. Someone doing something a little bit
different.
I love
it. Bit different. I love
more
that.
Aggressive.
There's Bowie. Makes a move on Jacko. May have let him through there, I don't know. May have team orders there. Let me pass the Jacko spins! Surely damage. None. I tell you what, look at some lucky boys tonight on this track. Some very lucky drivers, but Bowie knows he needs to get his foot down here and try and make some moves. And Strauss still stuck behind Mazels. Is this a chance to get him here, maybe? He's got the DRS on him.
Exit there. It seems like he's a bit out of shape there.
He needs to get past him soon, really. Don't really stuck behind him, because it'll give Cole Paradox a bit of breathing space. But a good race from Mazels so far. I not really mentioned him. Of course, had that incident with Strauss, and as an Aston Martin driver, we do love to see that. But yeah, he's doing a good job here, Mazels, and definitely in contention for a podium, 100%, with 10 laps to go. But the margin will start to, I won't say die off, but they'll start to feel a little bit sluggish, won't they?
Yeah, they will. But I mean, the gap behind Strauss is massive. So
yeah, true.
You know, and 4th, 5th, and 6th all have penalties. So the Mazels, you know, I mean, we said that Austria, he had a penalty, he had a puncture on the last lap. Remember, with his tyres. So let's hope that nothing crazy happens on the last lap like it did in Austria.
I think Strauss will be a little bit frustrated here, because on them fresh tyres, he'd have wanted to come out and just kick on in clear air. And because that pack of cars got past him, had the incident with Mazels, his championship contender ahead of him is starting to pull away a little bit now up the road. And that's not what you want. It's the big move here. Strauss goes on the outside of Mazels. Mazels lets him pass, to be fair. And now it is game on. Can he hunt down his rival? Here we go. The Natural Man also making it. Don't rule out this guy yet either, because he's on fresh mediums here. He's into 4th. He's not too far behind. To keep an eye on with the last, 9 or so laps of this race to go. It's wide open, this, with Bowie's still like no one really near him at the moment. His next car is Sadistic King. He won't be easy to overtake. I mean, what does Bowie take here? Would a 9th be a good result from 20? I mean, it'd be a good result, but in terms of where he started. But when your rivals are in the top 2, it could be damaging, couldn't it?
It could be. I mean, we said top 8, but I mean, if he can get into the top 8 with, you know, especially when there hasn't been a safety car as well, you know, it's all on strategy. I think he will be quite happy with that if he gets to top 8, top 7. But still, you know.
What I would say, if a safety car come out and there's 3 ahead of him on penalties, you never know, do you?
Exactly.
You never know.
Exactly. That is what we need. We need a safety car to spice this race up.
I can't believe I had one. I'm shocked. No DNFs either, which is strange. It's great. It's brilliant driving when we had a lot of close calls, but I think it's crazy. Dragon on Speed struggling on them hard, by the way. Dragon on Speed lost it then. He's really struggling on them hard, which is strange because they're relatively new. Strauss is closing on Cole Paradox here, though, and he's not far out of DS. This could get very interesting very quickly. Strauss in form, man, looking to keep this winning run going. And he's just over a second. He's not going to get DRS here, but he could do. He's already pulled a second out of Mazzles. Oh, it's going to get very interesting towards the latter stages of this race.
It's moving towards a pretty climactic end, isn't it? Strauss will be looking, and I can't quite remember off the top of my head what they get for P2, but it'll drop Strauss down to third place in the drivers. Well, actually, will it? Because Bowie, I'm not sure what Bowie would get actually, depending on where he finished. Has he dropped him ninth, Bowie?
Yeah, he's. Oh, I don't know if he's dropped or was he already ninth. I'm not sure. He's closed the gap though. To be fair, on 2.
Yeah.
And a P7 will look a lot better than P9 for him. If he can get past Leon, I think Leon could be in trouble here on the hards.
Jacko on the soft tyres. 8 laps, I think he can do that.
Yeah, I think McConey's pushing it though. Already been out on them for a lap or two. I think he could be pushing it, McConey. It's going to be a tight one. There's a yellow flag. Who is that? Is it the natural man? No, it's a bit further back. It's it's Pheasant, isn't it again? Was he letting people pass? Maybe I don't know. Was it Pheasant? I'm not sure.
Was he getting lapped? I'm not too sure.
Tell you what,
this is my estimate bias on here, but Mazzles is keeping he's keeping in touch with Strauss here, considering it's hard to a lot.
Yeah,
older.
He's back in the ice, isn't he? I noticed that.
Imagine if Mazzles could get past him. That would be a nightmare for Strauss, wouldn't it?
And Mazzles up 4. He had a good qualifying, and in so far he's having a very good race. Of course, we may see the incident between Strauss and Mazzles later on in the stewards chat. I mean, it was a collision. I'm sure that we may see that later on, but in terms of his race, he's been superb, and he's not ruling out a win here, Mazzles, by no means. There's a change here. It was that Rowland I thought he might span right into the pits. And we mentioned Leon earlier, and Leon's done a good race here so far. I mean, and them hards will start to feel like ice now on 18 laps. But he's in a good position here, Leon, and for Ferrari, they need all the points they can get. The other Ferrari driver driving the wrong way.
Lovely move. He's just had a lovely switchback on Sadistic King there coming out of turn 2. Lovely switchback. He went really deep into turn 2 or turn 3 and then just took a really sharp exit.
And can he get Leon here?
He's on the back of the Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, he's got hardly any ERS. But
I've noticed as well, because that Rowland's pitted, it's give Bowie another place. So it could be a P6 here now, which won't be bad at all for Bowie. From 20th on the grid, if he can get a P6.
Absolutely.
It's not a bad result. I mean, what's the gap
Absolutely.
to Dragon on speed? It's quite a big gap, isn't it? But he has got penalties, Dragon on speed. He's got 1. So don't rule out Bowie possibly getting Dragon. I mean, it's a big gap. It's a massive gap. But you never know. There's still time for a safety car. I'm praying for one. I'm praying for one. But
hoping to God we get a safety car. It would be crazy if we didn't get one. Here comes Bowie though. Is he going to get it? Is he going to try and go for a late move on the Ferrari round the outside?
Oh, not yet. And so this game's come back at him here.
Pick your battles.
6 laps ago, it's getting really tense now, isn't it? As Mazzles has closed the gap even more on Strauss. It's 6/10 now. Oh, Mazzles could play a bit of a part here. I'm sure Cole Paradox would love Mazzles to get past Strauss.
Oh, he would. Fair play to Cole Paradox though. He's keeping that gap. You know, he's keeping.
And nobody
Strauss
actually
just
any for Strauss, is there? Mazzles has got DRS. So that gap's going to get closed even more. As McConey makes him. Oh, he doesn't. Since he can pit. I keep getting confused at the last corner. It says people dropping places, but they pit in the yellow flag. That's on track as well. It's William Gaming. He's off the track. Was he letting people pass? I don't know what he was doing there. I'm not sure. He wasn't letting people pass, was he? I'm not sure.
I don't know if his hards have given up on him. He was almost in the barrier again.
Oh, man. Plenty of close calls tonight. That's what I will say. Plenty of close calls. As Bowie gets a big move on Leon. It's a massive move into P6. He started to get into his groove now after a tough qualifying. Up 14 places. The yellow flag on track. That Roland's gone. Oh my god. Safety car. So it could potentially get turned into a safety car though. It does get turned into a safety car! Yes! And would you believe it? It's a McLaren. Strauss's teammate. Oh god. Oh, we're going to see softs here. We're going to see softs. We're going to see a split like, was it 25 in, I swear it was like 25 in our race. On Monday night.
Actually.
We're going to see a sprint here.
That's the thing, I mean, if you remember back to our race, the McLarens were in front, and they chose to stay out on the hards to keep track position. If Colt Paradox pits on the soft,
they're all the top 3. You're all going. They're all pitting the top 3. You're all going in. They're all going for it.
Yeah, they've got to.
The top four are all going for it. They're all doing it. Softs all around. Yes. Does Dragon speed pit? Yeah, he does. You don't want to stay on the hards, you just get swallowed up. Does Bowie pit?
Bowie.
Oh, Murphy drive through pen. That's it. Oh, speed. To be fair, I think he may have been lapped anyway, Murphy. Yeah,
Where's Bowie going to come out here? This could work for Bowie.
Does Bowie stick?
Staying out.
He sticks. He's going to go from 20th to 1st. We said, could you? Oh, is it? Oh, actually, is he? No, he's not.
He's jumped Strauss. Bowie's jumped Strauss.
Oh, someone hit a wall. Someone just hit a wall. I heard it. Was it the natural man? Someone hit a wall coming out the pits. I heard the noise.
What's happened to Strauss? He's down to 6th.
Was it a
Colt Paradox pit?
Was it a wing change?
Paradox has pitted and come out to.
Oh, did he get? Maybe he got stuck in the pits. No, he can't have done. No, he can't have done, couldn't he? Because I don't know. No, I don't think he got stuck. Or? Possibly maybe he got damaged before when he hit Mazzles then.
It's flipped right around now because Strauss is now behind
Interestingly, Mazzles has put fresh mediums on, not fresh softs. So Colt Paradox he seems to lose here for me at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Mazzles has done that. I'm all up the Aston Martin and everything, but I mean, you'd stick a set of softs on. I mean, by the time the safety car's in, we're going to have maybe four or five laps. He's missed a trick there. He should.
Jack Bowie from 20th to 3rd. The worry he's got is he's got a lot of fresh soft runners behind him, but to be fair, a few of them have got penalties. So
they have got penalties.
And we're not going to be getting going anytime soon because a lot of the grid haven't caught up yet. But Strauss in 6th are really interesting because even McConey's jumped in.
Yeah, you know when I said earlier that I thought he made contact and might have lost, maybe there still was the tiniest bit of damage, and he's just. Maybe that's why he wasn't gaining on Colt Paradox and Mazzles was staying with him on old tyres. Maybe he was driving well enough, but he couldn't properly push because he obviously had a bit of damage. That might explain why Strauss wasn't 100% at his full pace.
I mean, if Colt Paradox can get away well here on the restart, I think he'll win this race. I don't want to make predictions too early, but I think if he can get away well on them softs with two medium runners behind him, I think he could be. I think what he needs is Mazzles and Jack Bowie to be the shield for him, and not let the soft runners get through. But you're looking at the 4 cars behind him. 2 are on mediums and 2 have got penalties. So Colt Paradox is in a fantastic position here. What would be a big win, a huge win. And if Bowie can get on the podium from 20th, it could be Strauss who loses out here, which seems crazy because he was the favourite, but he was comfortably the favourite. I mean, we're going to get at least one more lap on the safety car. There's quite a lot of cars that haven't caught up yet, including an Alfa Romeo that's... Is it JB? Yeah, it's JB that's nowhere near caught up. Pheasant's trying to lap himself, which he can't do. He's not going to be able to do that, Pheasant, because he's going to get DSQ'd here. It's going to... What is he doing? Surely, has he got away with it? Has he got away with it? I think he has.
He's up to...
No, disqualified yet. I'm going to say he can't do it. I mean, I love the effort. It's frustrating when you've been DSQ'd, but we're starting to get a few DNFs here all of a sudden. That's 4. We're starting to creep up all of a sudden. 7 or 8 might not be out of the question yet. We've still got a chance.
No, you're right. Hey, it's a sprint at the end. Soft. I mean, the softs around that final corner. If you push too hard on them and catch that curve on the outside,
and listen, you know, 3 or 4 laps ago, you're going to want to go for it, aren't you? You're not going to sit behind people. You're going to want to, like what you did on Monday. You're going to go for it, aren't you? Even a move that earlier in the race you might not have gone for, you're going to go for it without, aren't you, at the end?
Strauss has got to. I mean, yeah, the 2 guys in front of him have got penalties, but he's behind his 2 title rivals at the moment, and he'll want to get Bowie. You know, he'll not, I don't know if he'll be able to tell or he knows that he's on old mediums, but if he can get Bowie. If he gets past the 2 in front of him, he should look at getting Bowie. But Colt Paradox he's in the dream. He just needs a good restart.
And in fairness, longer on the safety car, the better for Colt Paradox. The more laps on the safety car, the better. And potentially, I think it might come in here. I think by then this lap JB will have caught up. I think it should come in here for what? 4 laps of racing. And I reckon we might get a few more penalties here. I know Monday night when we had a sprint race, there was a lot of penalties at the end, weren't there? Because people were pushing. Yeah. So potentially, more penalties here, which could play a part. I think there's another twist to come in this race yet. Definitely.
We've got a sprint race.
That's what we wanted as a commentator. End. That's what you want.
We've waited a long time for this.
I know, we thought about looking at a safety car tonight, didn't we? It weren't going to come.
I feel bad now. We both cheered the safety car like we just won the race. Yes!
I cheered it on Monday as well, to be fair, when it came out. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I did, absolutely. I'm not going to lie.
Does it come in this lap? This could be massive. It is. Oh, it's in. It's in. Oh, here we go. I don't even know who to watch. Who do you watch? I don't know.
I'm watching Cult Paradox just because he just needs a clean start.
When does he go? Is it a late one? Wait, he's not in a rush, is he? He's not in a rush here.
He might go on the corner.
He's not going yet. He ain't going yet. Oh my god. He's gone now. It's a late one.
Oh, we've got it.
Oh, nice man! He's out of the race! Oh my god! No way!
Oh, he's drove such a good race as well.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I don't believe it.
I'm speechless.
I can't believe it. On the restart as well.
And Cole Paradox's tactic of a slow start has worked a treat. JB's also gone. We started shot like flies here all of a sudden, but what a big moment that could be in the championship. Oh my word.
His tyres must have just not been up to... Dragon speed! Oh, looking at Strauss.
Our championship leader is no more. Oh, wow. It was a slow restart. Did it catch him off guard?
He might have, yeah, he might have
wow.
put his foot down too quick.
That could be huge.
Oh, man.
Bear in mind, if Cole Paradox wins this race, he's going to get 40 points. Bow's going to get none. Oh.
I'm gutted for him, you know, because from where he started, he was on for such a good result, and then at the very end...
McConaughey gets another penalty. Is that the exact second it is? Third and fourth have 2 penalties. So Strauss at the moment is going to jump to third. But he's under pressure, Strauss, away from a couple of drivers. Oh, what a massive moment. I don't know what happened to JB. I missed that one. Oh. What a moment.
It can't be helped when
we said it before the race, didn't we? One slipped up.
Yeah.
And here comes Strauss on McConaughey. I'm not going to get him here, but you don't need to get him. Just take your time. But I think he wants to try and put pressure on the Cole Paradox, doesn't he? That's what he wants to do. But he's gone, Cole Paradox, to be fair. He's off. Mazel's on for a podium here still at the moment, a P2.
Mazel just needs to keep it clean. Keep it clean, not make any mistakes, even though he is on the meet. He could have won the race, Mazel's. Here
comes Strauss, who's getting really close to McConaughey. Dragon on speed, and Leon, though, not far behind Strauss, so it's going to get very interesting. Still 3 laps to go. Another yellow flag. Is it Gautier? Yeah, it's Gautier. Yeah, Gautier's gone.
Spun it, yeah.
Here we go. No DRS yet. Strauss needs to clear McConaughey. He's under pressure from 2 cars behind him.
Oh, it's kicking off in the midfield. The battle's for Red Bull and a Ferrari. Dragon on speed, defending from Leon. He's going to have the inside. He breaks later than him, and what a move.
McConaughey hit the wall. McConaughey hit the wall.
Strauss
went for him on McConaughey. It's a big move, and he gets it. It's a big move for Strauss, who needed that. Has McConaughey got damaged? Because that could be costly.
There was contact between Strauss and McConaughey, though, so I mean, I don't know if Strauss might have just chipped an end plate again.
Nothing visible, but again, you don't know, do you? It could be. Oh, I can't believe what's happened to Bowie. I feel for him. It's a massive moment in the championship, that. A massive moment. And to be fair, how many cars have spanned there tonight and not gone out the race? Poor Jack spins there once and goes out.
Yeah. Oh. That's very true. This is helping Strauss, though, because McConaughey is holding up everybody, even...
Hey, fair play to Mazel in mediums, though. He's still in DRS, so he's not out of question for a win here, Mazel's just yet.
Dragon on speed. Nice move.
Look at the battle there under the bridge.
That gives Strauss a good gap, though, to be fair. Oh, Strauss is
got a natural man outside. Into third.
Yeah.
And can he have a late rally with 2 laps to go on the top 2? Mazel's, though, in fairness, he's not letting Cole Paradox get away at all. And DRS is on this lap. Can he get in DRS? It's going to be close.
He's just outside. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just out, isn't he? But don't rule it out. He's got no back driver, to be fair, has he, Mazel's? He's drained it all. Assistant King making even McConaughey, who must have got damaged, McConaughey, I'm guessing. Because he's losing a lot of place. He's going to lose another place there, which is a real shame, because he had on for a really good result there as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's got no choice but to stay out and just hold on to as many points as he can.
The gap's starting to get a little bit bigger now, aren't they, as well? Over a second, the majority of them.
Mazel's is within... What, he's in within 1 again?
Could you imagine if he won it on the last lap?
He's just on the brink of DRS. If he could get it on the final lap, then who knows, but...
Could you imagine the scene if he collided on the last lap?
Oh, man, it wouldn't surprise me. He's
no DRS it? No DRS it for Mazel's?
Has Cult Paradox had a bit of a bad exit there, because it's down to 7 tenths.
Oh, was DRS not on yet?
I thought it was. I'm sure
I
saw
thought it was, but Mazzles didn't get any, and he was in 8 tenths.
I don't know.
The gap's closing though, isn't it? He's 7 tenths.
Yeah.
Surely not on the last lap. Poor Mazzles, he's got no battery, and Colfax has got a little bit more. Oh, he's hit the wall, Mazzles.
Mazzles hit the wall. Oh, Mazzles.
No visible damage, but that could give Cole Paradox the win, that.
Oh, he just had to keep it clean, and he
Yellow
could have had a
flag.
shot at him and all.
It's Strauss! Strauss to the wall, wing! He spun the car! Oh my word! No way! And Cole Paradox! Oh my god!
Word.
He's not going to pick Strauss, he's going to try and stick with it, but he's not going to get any points. He's going to keep dropping, he's got physically no wing. He's going to drop and drop and drop.
Oh my word!
Can you believe this? And Cole Paradox will be over the moon.
Bowie's going to be breathing a sigh of relief there. At least
I'll tell you what, Strauss ain't going to get
championship rivals.
A5. He ain't going to get A for no wing. There's a genuine chance that he could keep wet. I mean, this is the closest car. Gautier in 12th. Probably could beat him here. Strauss.
He's had such a clean race. How has he spun it on the soft?
He's lucky not to have DNF. There comes Craig and Jacko on him. And there's another place gone. There's 2 places gone. That's 10th. He's dropping and dropping.
Hedge, this is where it's going to hurt him the most, because Sector 1, there's a few corners but 2 DRS zones. Sector 2 is going to be absolutely painful for him.
I think the both fastest can get him yet.
There's a chance.
Oh, Strauss. And Cole Paradox, we said, didn't we? Could it be the night for someone to make or break their championship? Well, Cole Paradox he's going to lead the championship, and he's going to lead by quite a bit. Bowie getting nothing. Strauss, I mean, even a P10's in question here, because his Haas drivers that are really moving very, very quickly. Oh, let's get on board then with Cole Paradox, who looks like he's just entered the win. But, oh, what a win for Cole Paradox. What a massive result that is. He's going to lead the championship. Red Bull win here. Mazzles, though, what a drive for him. He could have won it. P2 for Aston Martin. Who gets third? Is it Dragon on Speed? Is it a double Red Bull podium?
It could be Leon. He's on the back
of
the Mercedes.
Leon. Could he be Ferrari?
He's got him on the final corner.
That's fourth. There's a yellow flag.
Strauss is still... he's cutting a lot of corners. He must have a couple of track extensions
that he can afford. Spam, which is going to help Strauss get a 10th here. But it'll feel like a DNF for Strauss, that. It's 9th, actually. He's jumped Jacko.
Well, that could be a lot worse.
But even so, it would have been third, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been.
And there you have it.
I know it probably means nothing to Strauss now, but at least he did it that late in the race, because if it was a lap earlier,
wow,
he could have fell right to the back.
What an end to the Singapore Grand Prix that was. Wow, if you're still in the stream, thank you. I'm sure you enjoyed that as much as we did. That was unbelievable. And Cole Paradox will be rubbing his hands there, because it could be a big night for him, that. Could be a massive night in the championship, that. And he will lead. Shout out to Mazzles, though, in the Aston Martin. You'll love to see that. What a result from him. And a double Red Bull podium, Dragon on Speed. We didn't really mention him too much tonight, did we? But what a drive from him. Yeah,
great night for the Red Bulls. Mazzles, fair play to him. I mean, it's a clean race. He did a hedgehog.
That's the Martin G, that's what it is.
Well, yeah, it is, unless you're me who speeds in the pit lane, but he could have had the win, he could have had the win, Mazzles, but he'll take a P2, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm going to give Mazzles driver of the day. I think there's a few that could win it there, but 7th to 2nd, no penalties. I mean, there's a few, isn't there? Dragon on Speed, 11th to 3rd, superb. Leon, I said keep an eye on Leon, just misses out on a podium. Sadistic King, there's loads, but I'm going to just give it to Mazzles, I think, 7th to 2nd. I think that's a brilliant driver, and to be fair, he wasn't far off winning that race, was he?
No, he wasn't, and I know exactly what's going to be said, Aston Martin bias, but part of me wants to give it to Cole Paradox just because under the pressure of the championship, his 2 title rivals couldn't keep it within the barriers. He did, so fair play to him. So I'll go with Cole Paradox just for a different.
Okay, I like that.
Just for a different view, just because I think where the championship is at the moment, that is a massive result for him. Massive.
Could you try and add them 3 to the party for me if you could? I don't want to try it because it might end the stream. But if you could have the top 3, could you try and see if any of them want an interview?
Yep. I'll drop it
knowing me, I'll invite them and the stream will end and they won't get one.
Yeah, I'll drop it in the Discord and see.
Yeah, perfect, mate.
See who wants to.
Wow, I mean, what an ending to that race. Like, in fairness, it was a superb race all round. It was very clean. Not many incidents, not many DNFs up until towards the end, not many penalties even tonight. And then safety car comes out and just causes a madness. And I mean, if you're the Red Bull Coal Paradox, you're going to feel pretty happy after that, I'd imagine. One of your rivals DNFs and one comes ninth.
Yeah, exactly.
It looked at one point, didn't it, that Strauss had the win in the bag. He was comfortable, he was flying at the front. And that incident with Mazzles when he pitted, wasn't it? That was the key. Oh, what a race.
Why did we think it was ever going to be straightforward around Singapore? Why did we ever think that was going to happen?
What a race. We'll give it a couple of minutes to see if any of them want an interview, but that was just an amazing Grand Prix. I'm speechless, genuinely, with the incident with Bauer on the restart, then Strauss going. I mean, Strauss lucky himself not to retire. And fair play to him for sticking out. I think a few would have pitted there for the last lap. Fair play to him to riding it out and bringing on a P9. It looks like a really good result, to be fair, that for him. I mean, I see really good. It's not a good result in the grand scheme of things, but it could have been a lot worse than that, couldn't it?
It could have. That's what I mean. I mean, if he'd have binned it and hit the barrier the lap previous, then he's got 2 laps to nurse that car home. And I think at that point in the race, because they just had a safety car, the pack's so tight, if he pits, he's at the back, so he had no choice but to just survive.
Yeah.
So the later that happened, the better. If that's any consolation, I'm sure if Strauss is listening, that's absolutely no consolation whatsoever after what was a comfortable race at one point. Should I just ask the podium sitters to join the voice chat?
Yes, please, mate, if you could.
Yeah, Marzles is willing to join.
Oh, well, we've just lost Matt, which is interesting. I don't know where Matt's just gone. We've lost our other commentator. We'll wait a minute and see if any of the boys want an interview. I don't know where Matt's just gone, bless him. We've lost my partner. Yeah, what a race. I'm sure that everyone in the stream would have enjoyed that as much as me and Matt did, but that was a breathtaking race. Oh, Matt's back. We've got him back. We lost him temporarily there.
Yeah, lost me temporarily. I'm trying to get Mazzles in. It threw me into a voice chat with him.
Interview him on your own, not in this party.
Yeah, I was gonna.
What a race. Is Mazzles up for an interview? Yeah.
Yeah. Just getting him into the. Here we go. Send him an invite.
Brilliant. Have the rest got back, or do they not want one?
Have a look now. I'll see if any of the others mention that they.
Well, here's one of our podium one of our podium sitters. Mazzles.
Yeah, Cold Paradox have to decline. Sweating my.
Whoa! I can't believe he's declining us. Whoa! He's won the race. Whoa! I'm not having that. He wins the championship. Mazzles, are you with us, mate? Good evening, mate. How are you feeling? I mean, first of all, go on. Could someone in the stream let us know, please, that we can hear Mazzles? Because before we couldn't hear our commentator, Matt. So I don't want it to let it strike twice. Someone could let us know in the stream if we can hear Matt. Before we start interviewing him, of course. I don't want him to waste his time. Do a full interview and then miss it. We'll just get confirmation, mate, before we crack on. I'll check the stream myself as well to make sure that we can hear you. Just give us. No, we can't hear you, mate. If you can try and look in your settings, we can't hear you, apparently. Party settings? If you go into the party chat that we're in now, are you on PS5 or PS4? Right, go into the party settings.
I'm on PS5 too, so I'll jump back to what I did and I'll let you know.
It's something to do with the party settings, isn't it?
Yeah.
Matt had this problem before, didn't you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm just looking back to see exactly how I.
Hang on, can you maybe try now? I just share your voice. I'll put to allow. But
that sounds like the one. Can someone let us know in the chat that we can hear him? That'd be great.
Can you hear me now?
We're just going to find out, mate. Give us 2 seconds.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping so.
Sounds good to me.
Right, brilliant. Good. Happy days. Right, Mazzles.
Great.
Got there in the end, mate. First of all, as Aston Martin drivers, me and Matt are pretty chuffed with that result. So very well done. Talk us through it, because I mean there was one point in the race. I'll ask you about the incident in a moment with Strauss, but there was one point in the race where you looked like you could have won that race. You was getting very, very close to Cole Paradox on the mediums, and it looked like towards the end, last lap, you might have made a charge to win it. And then did you hit into the tunnel? Did you hit the wall?
On the bridge, I hit the wall.
Bridge, yeah, the bridge, yeah.
I was preparing for that last lap, try and see if I could do something. I didn't know if I could, but I tried to prepare, and I just misjudged the braking on that under the bridge there. So I just took the inside of there or the outside and hit, and I think it took my end plate off or something like that. So I was just trying to get through the last lap and keep my second place. But I could see, I don't know what happened to Papa Strauss. He was behind me and gaining with 4 seconds, I thought, with that. But then suddenly he was gone. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, he lost the car into a wall, lost his wing completely. But there was an incident on the... Strauss pitted, and you went past him. I think there was a pack of cars. And did you and Strauss make contact? Or you made contact when he pitted, just after he pitted?
It sounds like we did. For me, the way I saw it coming out, I didn't really see him till the last minute. For me, I had that corner, but I don't know if I did. I'm gonna have to look back on it and see who's at fault, or if it was just a racing incident. Because I came and I could see he was coming out, but I was sure because I came at full speed. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it wasn't under VAC or anything. So I came at full speed. So for me, I was flying through those corners and was definitely under the impression that it was my corner. But I'm gonna have to look it back because he did mention it as well on the chat straight away afterwards. So I'm hoping it was just a racing incident. I didn't feel like it was my fault, but I apologise if it was.
No, we only seen it once, mate. We should probably mention it. You got my driver of the day today, by the way.
Thank you.
Brilliant drive from you. Matt, anything you want to ask our P2?
Yeah, well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
From one Aston Martin driver to another, I'm feeling quite happy about that result, not going to lie. Just the only question I have really, at the end with the safety car, you pitted onto the mediums. Do you think if you'd have pitted onto the softs, you might have had a chance of winning that race, or was the mediums more of a safer option with how quickly the softs can obviously go off?
I didn't have a choice. I had a glitch just before I pitted the first time. I changed my tyres to hard instead of going to medium. I was supposed to go to medium on the first after the first stint, but I thought, you know what, I got a few extra laps out of the soft, so maybe I can do the rest of the race on the hard. And I went to change my tyres to hard, and then to say that I was going to pit, and then the screen locked on the side, the radio screen, and I couldn't change anything or see anything for the rest of the race. So I was driving in blind. I couldn't see how worn my tyres were or anything. So I didn't have a choice. I wasn't actually, when I was pitted last time, I didn't know what I was going to get. I thought I was going to get medium because that was probably what it was set up prior to the race. But I didn't know. I just had that, that radio screen with all the options was just locked in the side for, 25 laps or something like that.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I got used to it being there, but it was quite annoying. And
yeah, that's a shame. It's a shame that the game, we know that the game has a lot of glitches. It's a shame that the game is, well, I wouldn't say ruined your race because you got a great result, but what could have been on the slots? You may have won the race, who knows? I mean, I wanted to mention very quickly.
We had a good. Sorry.
Go on. No, carry on.
We had a good fight, Cole Paradox and I, and I just, I think he was a well-deserved winner. I think he did very well. So I'm not sure I would have taken him anyway, even with a soft. He was fast and it was close racing. So well done to him.
I was going to mention you love Singapore. You won the Tier 4 race here last year, didn't you? I just remembered.
I did, yes.
You beat me.
I've got a good track history. Yeah.
I remember, it's popped into my head. Then I was like, I swear Mazzles won here last year. So yeah, not a bad. Never know, mate. You might go Tier 2 next year and get third there. It's a pattern.
Well, let's see. Let's see. I'm quite happy here. I don't think my skills are for Tier 2. Let's see. Let me get a win in Tier 3 first before we start considering that.
It's a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for joining us, and well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mazzles.
Yes, bye.
Well, I don't think the rest want to join us, Matt. They've ditched us.
I don't know where they are. Paradox is sweating too much by the sounds of it. That's his excuse. And I tried adding Dragon on speed, but something with his PS5 settings or whatever he's playing on, wouldn't allow me to add him, and he's just said, Yeah, he said he'll pass. So
Oh,
yeah, we've heard from Mazzles.
We've heard from Aston Martin. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Cole Paradox must be knackered. He must be absolutely knackered after that.
He's gone for a celebratory drink, hasn't he? That's what he's done.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's done. Yeah, I don't blame him as well after that.
Well, we'll wrap up there. It's been a very long night, to be fair. 2.5 hours we started this stream.
Wow.
Of course, they had the bugs in Q1, which unfortunately changed the rain. What could have been with the rain, who knows? We'll never know, but it could have certainly changed it up even more. But that was a brilliant race. Matt, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate, and I'm sure that we'll see you again this season on commentary. I mean, I'd love it if you could do it more regularly, because I really enjoyed that.
Well, I couldn't. I mean, especially after how it's turned out, I couldn't have left you doing that for 2.5 hours.
I'd have been dead.
Oh, that'd have been a you deserved a podium yourself just for that. But no, I'm happy to join you on the comms for Tier 3 whenever you want me. Just let me know. And
well, I'm sure we'll
I
be seeing
enjoyed
you
tonight.
again.
It was
Definitely.
a thrilling race, so I enjoyed that. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you very much. Been a good week for you. You won here on Monday, then you commentate on Thursday. Pleasure, mate.
Alex,
thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you
really
very much.
enjoyed it, and I'm sure that we'll see Matt possibly next week. But I'm almost certain we'll see him again this season throughout the last 3 races. That's us done. It's been a very, very long night. We knew that Singapore couple of a bit of a storm. It definitely did. So many amazing incidents. Not amazing, maybe not amazing for some drivers, but for us as commentators, it was amazing. And well done to all the drivers. Well done to Mazzles. Thank you to him for joining us. Well done to Cole Paradox on the win. And Dragon on Speedface podium. And we will be here. If you want to watch any more racing, make sure you're on Monday night. Me and Matt are racing ourselves. We're in Bahrain on Monday night as the championship heating up in Tier 4 as well, shall we say. So make sure you join us on Monday night. Free fall will be commentating me, Matt, and the Tier 4 boys. If not, we will see you next Thursday for Tier 3 commentary on Bahrain. I'm sure that if Matt's available, he'll be here again with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Matt, thank you again once more, mate.
Thank you very much.
And have a great weekend, all of you, and we will see you on Monday. But if not, we'll see you next Thursday for Tier 3, the third to last race of the season in Bahrain. Good night.